How's it? Indian Cowboy, DocSports.com, connect on Friday, September the 13th. As we get this video to you every day around this time, have your free pick winner in just a second. We have 18 games to talk about. It's going to be an awesome video. The first one's going to be on Arizona and Kansas State in just a second. Right before that, I'll tell you what's up in our neck of the woods. Some important updates. The algorithms of Indian Cowboy, as you know, have been around for 19 years, and Doc Sports has been around for 53 years. I have a doctorate and a master's in biostatistics. That's how these algorithms work. Welcome to my podcast, my free daily podcast. Our best selections over at docsports.com under Arun Shiva, Indian Cowboy. Our next best selections are our YouTube Premium Thoughts, which is a live show that we do every single day. I am going to have a live show. It's 4 Eastern on the East Coast right now. I'm going to have a live show right after this, around 4:30 Eastern. And it's an important live show because you get the first look, the best lines, and usually we do that video before the daily video, and you get 200 plus games all for just $20 a month. It is a teaching channel, recorded podcast. You really listen to it anytime you want to. You get a written summary at the end, just an incredible value. And you get to hang out in a live setting with me and ask me any questions you want. It's awesome every day. The link to YouTube Premium, we try to do it every day. The link to YouTube Premium is in the comment section. There's a link to how to get your free $60 of their premium selections. So what are the games that we did for YouTube Premium? Well, later on today, we have a whole bunch of college football and NFL that we have piped in. So we'll talk about all those games. I'm going to talk to you about a whole bunch of NFL games now in a second as well. But if you want even more content, hop onto our Twitter. It has our latest updates, our hot takes on sports, and popular consensus reports. And our latest videos are posted there. All right, so what do I need to tell you here? Well, we went 1-0 in football yesterday. We had a great win on the Buffalo Bills plus the 2.5. What a great call that was. And, it was just a spectacular call. They won, 31-10. It was fantastic, and we'll look to try to continue it with a quality, with a 7 unit and a 6 unit on Sunday. All of it is on NFL again. I'll have college thoughts for you. I'm about to give you a couple college thoughts now. But yeah, we're super excited about the football. We could easily go 3-2, 4-1, or 5-0, back-to-back winning football weeks. We're trying to make it 3-0 in football, 3 straight winning football weeks. WNBA, of course, we come into this game. Hopefully we dropped the last 2, but it's a very, very long season. We're 12-5. Plus 3240 run, plus 6700 run on the year. Soccer is 13-5 for plus 6035. MLB, a 6-1 run in baseball. Push yesterday, a 4-unit selection today. Football, you know how great that is. Already, almost basically 3 straight winning weeks and 4-1 in the NFL regular season. So football, baseball, soccer, WNBA, golf, 7-unit winner last week, and MMA plus 7100 on the year. I hope you join for all these packages for a great ROI, which we continue to work hard for you every day. All right, let's get your free play winner today. And I like Kansas State minus the points here today. You can find this line sitting around -7, and everybody's jumping on Arizona here. And that's fine. You're welcome to jump on Arizona. But I'm not a huge fan of their coach. And I think with 65% sitting on Arizona, I think people are wrong about this game. They weren't that impressive against Northern Arizona. They weren't that impressive against New Mexico. They have a coach here who is the right hire for them in Brent Brennan. But he was a coach that went 7-6 at San Jose State in 2023, 7-5 at San Jose State in 2022. He'd been there he did turn that program around, but he'd been there for 7 years. And as he faces, Chris Kleiman here of Kansas State, Chris Kleiman took over. Chris Kleiman used to coach North Dakota State, and they were an unbelievable program. He went 36-4 in the conference at North Dakota State. He took over this program in 2019. And, they were 8-5, then 4-6, 8-5, then 10-4, then 9-4. And now they're 2-0 out of the gates. And this team is good. He has a good system here. This team is good. I like the fact that they did not cover against Tulane or Tennessee Martin. This is a team that last year, and you have to admit this is a team last year that beat Baylor and Kansas, lost to Texas in overtime, beat Houston, TCU, Texas Tech, only lost to Oklahoma State, who's coached by Coach Gundy, phenomenal coach, by 8 points. Lost to Missouri by 3 points. You know how good Missouri was last year. So why would I not think they're at least a touchdown favorite over Arizona? I absolutely like Kansas State minus the 7 today as your free play winner. Now let me try to get to everything else. Washington and Atlanta in the WNBA. I got to go with Washington. I don't understand this. There must be an injury. I thought there was an injury or something in this, but Washington's covered 9 of 10 games coming in. I understand Atlanta has revenge, but Washington nearly beat Minnesota. This is a team that has been just phenomenal right now. They have 10 players scoring at least 4 points a game. Give me Washington. Normally, I'd talk to you more about every game, but we have so many games to get to. Seattle and Dallas in the WNBA, I like the over there. These two teams are probably tired of each other because they just played 3 times already this year. Last time it was back on July the 1st. Seattle's won 3 in a row, including 95-71 most recently. I think it's going to be an up-tempo contest. Dallas is also off a game where they only scored 67 points as well. They had just scored 90-plus points in the game before. Give me the over there. Chicago and Minnesota in the WNBA. I like Chicago. By the way, at the end of this video, I have all your NFL thoughts. 13-23 Chicago team facing a 28-9 Minnesota team. The only thing here is that Chicago has a whole bunch of revenge. That's true. But the problem is Chicago comes off one of its worst losses of the year, losing 58-89 to Washington. It was just a horrible loss. And I think that will show some pride here. And you also have Minnesota putting up 76 and 78 points in the last 2 games. So this game could go over as well if Chicago's an active dog. But I think what's safe here is to take Chicago as a dog rather than the total. Mets in Philadelphia. I like the Phillies here. The Mets beat Toronto 6-2. They're 14 games above 500. Philadelphia's won 3 in a row over the Rays. Pretty nice. Philly has won 9 of 11 coming in. Quintana and Nola here. Quintana 4.09 ERA. 6 innings, 5 hits, no runs against Cincinnati. 3 straight quality starts. Nola here, 3.41 ERA. Went 9 innings, 4 innings, no runs against the Mets. Nola, horrible start in his last time against last effort. 4 innings, 9 hits, 4 runs against Miami. I think he's likely to bounce back. 6 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs against the Braves. So he had to have a letdown. And I think he had gone 7 innings, 4 hits, and no runs against Houston too. I think Nola bounces back. I think that plus Quintana beat the Phillies last time, so the Phillies have revenge. Give me the Phillies or the Phillies run line. Baltimore and Detroit, I like the under there. Baltimore lost 3-5 last game, so Baltimore on the bounce back here. Detroit's won 4 in a row coming in, lost to the Rockies. Elfin is great. He's having a great year. Tough game last game, though. 5 innings, 8 hits, 3 runs against the Rays. 2 home runs in the last game. I think he bounces back. I think that would make some sense here. And therefore, I think with the Elfin bounce back as well as the fact that you get, as well as the fact that Detroit's pitcher is undecided right now. But Detroit, I'd have to think, given that they're making a run for the playoffs, it does make sense that this game goes under the posted total today. Miami and Washington, I like the Miami here. Believe it or not, Miami won 6-3 last game. I get that, but I love their stud pitcher, man. They had lost 3 in a row prior to that before they just won their last game. But Washington lost 3-6. I get they're on a bounce back, but I absolutely love Cabrera here. I know he's got a 7.36 ERA, but he went 4 innings, 4 hits, 5 runs against Washington last time and he lost. He just went 7-3-0 against the Phillies. Wow. 5 innings, 6 hits, 1 run against San Francisco, 2. 5 innings, 3 hits, no runs against the Braves. I think a lot of value here on the Marlins, even though they just beat Washington recently. Hurts was phenomenal. 5 innings, no hits, no runs against Pittsburgh. But I like Miami as a dog here. All right, let's get to some football action today. I like Alabama in college football against Wisconsin. Alabama played like dog feces against South Florida until the fourth quarter when they turned it on. And they could have scored many times with so many fumbles and being an Alabama homer. I think as their first road game, they're going to be so focused here on the road against Wisconsin. That's why that line is so big. That's why I think they thump them by about at least 20 points because they had such a bad game against South Florida. Give me Alabama. All right, let's get to your NFL action. Atlanta and Philadelphia. I like the Falcons here. Even though I'm a Falcons fan, I like them here. Atlanta's off that terrible 10-18 loss, and Kirk Cousins has taken a lot of heat, and it's only been 1 game in. And Philadelphia comes off a nice win. But, of course, Jordan Love that was kind of hurt in that game. But regardless, I think Atlanta bounces back and plays much better. They can't play any worse, obviously, only scoring 10 points in the last game. And Chargers versus Carolina. Atlanta is one of those teams that plays up to certain teams. Chargers, Carolina. I like the under there. Young went 13 of 30 in his last game. 2 interceptions in the last game. I think the only way that Carolina is going to be able to hang tough is through the under. The Chargers have been absolutely phenomenal on defense. They showed that on their first game. And I think they'll make the necessary changes here. Harbaugh and Herbert here. Harbaugh's not having Herbert do a lot. He only had him throw 25 times last game. He's trying to control the line of scrimmage. Pretty smart. 144 yards passing. I like Carolina and Chargers under. Jets, Tennessee. I like the Jets. Jets lost 19-32, but honestly, they played pretty well. Levis had 2 interceptions in his last week for the Titans. I think Rodgers and the Jets bounce back here, and I think the Jets do. The Jets actually played pretty well against San Francisco, and they can ill afford to go 0-2 as well. And I think Tennessee. I think it was more of Tennessee. I think it was more of the Bears playing really bad than Tennessee playing good. That's why that last game was close. All right, Seattle and New England. I like New England here. Seattle won 26-20 in their last game. They beat Denver. Bo Nix, 138 yards, no touchdowns, 2 interceptions. not the answer for the Broncos. Denver 0 for 4 from the red zone. Did Seattle get lucky? Maybe, but New England was phenomenal in their first game against the Bengals on the road, and I think that defense continues to do well. I think Seattle got a little lucky against Denver, who went 0 for 4 from the red zone. I'm going to take New England here. Cleveland versus Jacksonville here. I like the over there. Cleveland lost 17-33 last game, just terrible against the Broncos. And now I think they can be, I think they'll have a much better offensive performance here. At the same time, Jacksonville only put up 17 points in their last game as well. I think they bounce back too. And I think that Watson will play much better. And I think Trevor only went 12 for 21 in his last game. I think he plays better too, like the over. San Francisco, Minnesota. Wow, long video today, huh? San Francisco, Minnesota. I like San Francisco. I like the Niners here. San Francisco comes off as a 5-point favorite. Minnesota's off of a 28-6 win over the Giants. I think the only thing that Shanahan hasn't done is to win on the road in Minnesota, and I think Minnesota's off a big win, and I think they'll have a letdown. Colts, Green Bay. I like Green Bay here. Richardson was 9 of 19 from his last game. I understand Green Bay is going to have a new quarterback today, but I don't think it's going to matter. I think Green Bay is going to step up with their quarterback. They actually played pretty well, even with Love Hurd. They have a lot of good skill positions, etc. I think Green Bay shocks everybody and wins this game outright. Las Vegas and Baltimore. Baltimore's off a terrible loss against the Chiefs game. They probably should have won. Las Vegas comes off that tough loss to the Chargers. Sure, Las Vegas can bounce back, but you're going to tell the Baltimore coaching staff and Baltimore players as they come off an 0-1 loss, they're going to be super ticked off. This game has all the makings of a 30-17 or 30-13 type ball game. I like Baltimore. Pittsburgh, Denver. I like Pittsburgh again. Pittsburgh won 18-10 last game. Fields went for 17 for 23 for 156. Russell Wilson getting hurt is probably the best thing that happened to this team. Fields used to be a starting quarterback. He's very competent. Knicks went 26 for 42 for 138 yards. Guy passed 42 times for 138 yards. Terrible. If you passed one time, you could pass for 60 yards. That's how bad that was. And he went no touchdowns, 2 interceptions. I like Pittsburgh. I like the vibe they have going there. I think they rally around Justin Fields, and I think they get it done again. Cincinnati and Kansas City. I like Cincinnati here. They played so bad in their first game. Kansas City won the last 2 times they played last year as well. So Cincinnati has that revenge. Lots of pressure on Burrow. Pats were up 10-0 at the half. Bengals didn't even score any points. I think they play much better here. Chiefs are on a massive letdown after that big Monday night win. Chicago, Houston. I like the Houston Texans here. It seems like a homer pick. Seems obvious. 2 rookies. Not rookie, but Cloud and Caleb Williams. I think Cloud will want to prove something to Williams here. Chicago played so bad. I think Caleb Williams passed for about 95 yards in his last game, and they still managed to win that game. I know 70% of the public's on Houston. It's not going to matter. I still like Houston. That's your video for today. I could be wrong. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Yeah, 18 free selections. Hope you enjoyed it. Please take a moment to like and subscribe and join us for our football card this week, our baseball, our WNBA, our soccer, our MMA. It's all fantastic. And YouTube Premium, I'll see you in about 15 minutes for a fantastic live show. Bye-bye.